Alright, Shalom. Want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, alright, that rule well and that taught us the truth of the scriptures. Alright, I want to give senior salutations to all you sincere laborers out there that's pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. Just pushing towards that mark, looking to be found worthy, in the latter end. All right, and it's Brother Kanaka from GMS Tampa, GMS Rai, and right now, man, like Elder Tahar said, this is your prophecy, and I saw something on a comment and on this podcast I watch called X22 Report, to get my information on the economy and whatnot, the war. But I did my research and I found it out to be true. I found multiple sources. And the thing is, January 18th, China's supposed to launch the Petro Yuan, all right, which is an imminent threat to the U.S. dollar. And this is so beautiful, man. Elder Tahar said this is your prophecy. All right, so if China launches that Petro Yuan, that's an imminent threat to the U.S. dollar, which means, they might not all do it at once, or it might take a little time. But, hey, the countries are going to stop trading in the U.S. dollar, man, and trade in the Chinese currency, man. And this is beautiful, man, because we know that's going to happen. All right, and I'm going to just get into this article here, find a few articles to back up the January 18th claim, and get right into it. It says, how China will shake up the oil futures market. Now, this is current news. It was posted January 2018. Salakia for that. January 1st, 2018. Let me do something real quick. Salakia. It's Satan. How China will shake up the oil futures market. How China will shake up the oil futures market, and then get right into it. It says China is the world's biggest oil buyer, is on the verge of opening a domestic market to trade future contracts. It's been planning one for the years, only to encounter delays. The Shanghai International Energy Exchange, a unit of Shanghai Futures Exchange, will be known by the acronym INE and will allow Chinese buyers to lock in oil prices. Salakia, I'm back. Had to pause that for a moment. Shoot, I even forgot where I left off at, but forgive me. I'm gonna just read this article again. It's just just Satan, trying to hinder. But this is some good stuff here. It says, start over. I'm sorry. I really do apologize. It says, China, the world's biggest oil buyer, is on the verge of opening domestic market to trade future contracts. All right, so China is getting ready to launch the Petro Yuan, and they're going to make contracts with these other countries. That's going to be looking forward to doing this, man. One of those countries is Iran, all right? Because as we know, Donald Trump is trying to impose those sanctions on Iran, reinstate those sanctions, for lack of a better term, on Iran, which is to keep them out of the global market system, okay? So with that being said, if you keep Iran out of the global market system, and the global market system is based off the petrodollar, the U.S. currency. So they can keep them out of the global market system because they own the petrocurrency right now, the U.S. dollar. So they can sign a contract with Iran, okay, pretty much evading Salakia, the sanctions, man. Okay, so this is going to give them an alternative. You already know Russia's going to be down with this, man. So those contracts with Russia, you can guarantee a Russian contract, and you can almost certainly, soon after guarantee a Iran contract, all right? a Venezuelan contract. Okay, because Venezuela is also suffering from U.S. sanctions. Man, and anybody that's just search up sanctions, U.S. what countries have U.S. sanctions on them. I guarantee you, any one of those countries that have U.S. sanctions, they're gonna get one of these contracts, man. All right, it says, oh, guarantee North Korea. All right, because what? North Korea has been cut off from the global market as well, and China was caught selling oil to the North Koreans recently, man. That was in the news recently. So China just going to sign a contract with North Korea on this petro yuan. It says it's been planning one for years, only to encounter delays. The Shanghai International Energy Exchange, a unit of Shanghai Futures Exchange, will be known by an acronym INE, and will allow Chinese buyers to lock in oil prices and pay in local currency. Also, foreign traders will be allowed to invest a first of China's commodities markets because the exchange is registered in Shanghai's free trade zone. There are implications for the US dollar well-established role as the global currency of the oil market. All right. Now, this is the point right here. Okay, and I've saw this to be true. Okay, off of multiple sources. When, will the trading begin? Okay, according to the Shanghai-based news portal Jiamain, which cited an unidentified person from a futures company, trading is expected to start January 18th. Okay, which will be tomorrow, which would be Thursday. Okay, multiple rounds of testing have been carried out and are listing requirements met. Okay, and this is true as well. All right, you can research that. They already ran dry runs, so to say, and they were pretty successful with these dry runs of running this currency. Have been carried out and all listing requirements met. The State Council, China's cabinet, was said to have given its approval in December. Okay, so like I said, if you research that, it was successful, and that's why it was able to give its approval in December. One of the final regulatory hurdles, the push for oil futures, gained impetus in 2017 when China surpassed the U.S. Okay, so China's economy has been surpassing the U.S. in these recent years. All right, it has surpassed the U.S. as the world's biggest crude importer. All right, top oil buyer. All right, China surpasses as the world's biggest crude importer. Now let's zoom in right here. All right, as you can see, as of 2017, November 30th, okay, 9.5 million barrels per day, with America only 7.33 million barrels per day. All right. Let's see what else do I want in this article. I'm not gonna read these whole articles here, man. Just short and straight to the point, man. We need your prophecy, man. You brothers just gotta keep watching and stay diligent. It says, okay, comedies. Just bear with me. All right. Now I mentioned about Iran. Okay, let's go back up here to the point why I mentioned Iran. It says, China, the world's biggest oil buyer, is on the verge of opening domestic market to trade future contracts. Okay, that's why I mentioned Iran right here. Future contracts. Okay, now let's see if I can get some stuff going here really quick. RT, beautiful. Okay, now this was posted January 9th. Okay, current news here. It says Iran sanctions will help China's petro yuan. Beautiful. Perfect. All right. It says in a few days, U.S. President Trump may try to reimpose, sanctions on Iran, a dramatic step that could heighten tensions between the two countries. All right, and some analysts believe the move could contribute to a much broader global economic power shift from the U.S. to China. All right, and that's what's happening. We're in the middle of a transition of economic power. Okay, the connection between the issues may not be obvious at first glance, but by seeking to isolate Iran from the international market, see, beautiful. Those sanctions do. They they isolate Iran from the international market, which the international market is based off of U.S. currency. Okay, so Iran could look elsewhere. Beautiful. Because the global oil trade is conducted in greenbacks, like I stated earlier, the U.S. Treasury was able to restrict Iran's ability to access. Because you remember, I forget when it was, maybe 2 years ago, I want to say, but those sanctions were lifted up off Iran. They started flooding the market with oil, man. That was recently, maybe 2 years ago. Okay, it says that made it extremely difficult for Iran to sell its oil prior to the thaw in relations in 2000. Right here, Salakia, 2015. That's when it happened. It says which kept millions of barrels of daily oil production on the sidelines. Okay, so they kept Iran couldn't put out their oil on a high output like that because they had sanctions on them. Now, if Iran has some of the biggest, if not the biggest, oil reserves in the Middle East. It's like in the Middle East for sure, I can say that, but I don't know about the whole world. But Iran has the biggest oil reserves out of any Middle Eastern country. That's why Iran is so valuable to the U.S. They want to invade it, okay, and take control over it. They have, even though Saudi Arabia was the #1 export of oil in the Middle East, they were only due to the fact because they were using they were very good allies with America. That's why. But Iran has the biggest oil reserves in the Middle East. Okay, they have more oil than Saudi Arabia. All right, it says which kept millions of barrels of daily oil production on the sidelines. That's what the sanctions did. It says this time around, however, the U.S. is likely to go at it alone, and that's beautiful. Revelations, I believe the 17th chapter, when it say the beast shall hate the whore. All right, because Donald Trump wants to put these sanctions, okay, reinstate these sanctions on Iran, but it says they might go at it alone, man. Okay, the other countries, the UN, they're not going to support it. Okay, so America's going to be in this alone, putting those sanctions on. They're not going to have the support. All right, they're not going to have that agreement, so to say. The sanctions still going to be put on Iran, but it's not going to be an agreement. The other countries are, they're not going to agree with that. Okay, so with that being said, you gonna have these other countries, man, eventually going to that petro yuan, man, like they already doing. I believe Germany, it was some news about Germany doing something like that as well recently. It says the Trump administration won't have the backing of international community. Beautiful. Okay, let me get to the point here. It says, and you can read more on oilprice.com and about the January 18th. Okay, another credible source. All right, because it's stated right here. True cent. Beautiful. It says potential consequent reactivation of sanctions may cause Iran to export oil using the Chinese yuan. So this is beautiful, man. This is very beautiful. It says yuan dominated contract which launches on January 18th. Okay. Bajrani Skilldrop chief committees. Analyst at SEB said in a statement, this may spark a move away from the present long-established U.S. dollar, okay, dominated oil trading regime. All right, and that's pretty much it on that. All right, and with that being said, this economy is getting ready to collapse. So you brothers, be focused, man. All right, all this money and everything. All right, is all that's gonna be brought to naught, man. People are gonna be out here starving. Ultimately, they're gonna release the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. Okay. Let me get this really quick. What do I want? I'm just close out with this. Okay. Go to now, you rich man, weep and howl for miseries that shall come upon you. Why is that? Because when his U.S. dollar collapse, all right, all you American citizens and actually all over the world, man, because yeah, China's gonna launch the petro yuan, but those greenbacks are still heavily what's the word I'm looking for? Still heavily affiliated in everybody's economy. So when the U.S. dollar collapse, yeah, you're gonna have these currencies out here, this Petro Yuan and all these other currencies going, but it's gonna be a global collapse. Okay. It says, go to now, you rich man, weep and howl, for misery shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth eating. All right, and the riches are corrupt, man, because in 1971, President Nixon removed the gold from the U.S. dollar. All right, so it's not backed by anything. Okay, and that's Satan with all these pop-ups here. Your gold and silver is cankered; the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. All right, it says, behold, the hired laborers who have reaped down your fields. All right, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it on that. Going to another topic, I just want to focus on that. But you know, go to now, you rich man, weep and howl, for your misery shall come upon you. All right, so we can expect that to happen very soon, man. It's your prophecy when China, when this Petro Yuan begins to take effect. All right, in this global economy. But with that, man, you know, once again, Salakia, you know, for the I had to pause the video, you know, to take a important call. You know, Satan just kept, you know, coming in the midst. But with that, man, you know, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the ones that are apostle of great millstone. Salutations to you, sincere laborers out there, pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty.